Let's shift the feed. Shalom. Shalom. All right, we should be up there. Shalom. All right, there we go. All right, shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'm back with another quick lesson through the Holy Spirit, the Rakakwadash. All right, I pray that this lesson is edifying to you true and sincere believers out there, man. All right, this is another news and prophecy. This hell is almost over. All right, so I wanted to go through a couple of articles here just to kind of, solidify that point, to show us that, again, that our salvation is nearer than we believe. All right, and we're going to continue to watch out as we've been doing, staying occupied in prophecy. All right, paying attention to the signs that the Lord has given us in the heavens and on earth. All right, so with that being said, jumping into this article here. All right, this is from America's First Report. I do a lot of my news and prophecies from this site here. Good content. But anyway, the title here, or the headline, it says a blood moon rises as, quote, wars and rumors of wars intensify. All right, so there's a blood moon that's coming up, I believe, this Sunday. Let's read into it here. Okay. But everything around the planet Earth is intensifying. Wars, hate, division. Okay. The spirit that's in the air right now. Okay. A collapse of America's society. Okay. All these different things that detail the end of Babylon, right? But I read it on here. It says here in this article, it says, remember these days because these are the days when global leaders could have reversed course before it was too late. It says 2025 has certainly been a year of war. All right. And the past couple of lessons that I've done have been, surrounding the topic of war. Okay. The nuclear war that's coming upon the earth, and a war that's been declared against you Israelites. All right. You so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, Hispanics. All right. So 2025 has certainly been the year of war. Right? It says, and it appears that things are poised to go down to an entirely new level in months ahead. If we do not choose to step back from the brink, eventually we will be pushed over the edge. Sadly, we continue to see escalation after escalation as we tumble toward the unthinkable. Right? This is meanwhile, ominous signs continue to appear in the heavens. Now, I want to make a real quick point, not to get off topic. All right. But, just another faith booster. Now, people can say this is real, it's not real, but I want to show you which was going viral when somebody had posted it on Instagram. Let me just pull it up. Right. Because what did it say? It said, meanwhile, ominous signs continue to appear in the heavens. Right. Check this out.
What the Oumuamua truly does look like by the Webb telescope. Is that what the Oumuamua looked like? It was the first interstellar visitor to come our way back in 2017, and it just so happened to be the same time Hurricane Maria came through Puerto Rico, and the Arecibo telescope, the largest radio telescope in the world, was out of commission. They didn't get much data at all. The Oumuamua.
Right. So you could argue and say it's not real, whatever the case is. But the fact, hey, the Lord has given us very heavy signs, man. All right. This is supposed to be from the James Webb telescope. All right. This is what the Oumuamua, chariot supposedly looked like. All right. So it's shit that's going on, man. Matter of fact, let's get a quick scripture here. All right, because the Lord has given us those signs. All right, you can argue all you want to, man, but at the end of the day, we believe. All right, these are faith boosters to us. Right. So anyway, Isaiah 51. Thinking about that real quick, and we'll get back to the article. All right. So this is Isaiah 51. Pull this up. Here we go. Isaiah 51:6. We'll start at 5. This is Isaiah 51:5. It says, "My righteousness is near, my salvation is gone forth, and my arm shall judge the people. The isles shall wait upon me, and on my arm shall they trust." Right? Verse 6. "Lift up your eyes to the heavens and look upon the earth beneath. The heavens shall vanish away like smoke, and the earth shall wax like an old garment." Because we that nuclear war is very close, man. All right, closer than what most people understand. All right, the end of this world is going to be very chaotic. All right, it says, "In the heavens, for the heavens shall vanish away like smoke, and the earth shall wax old like a garment, and they that dwell therein shall die in like manner." All right, I was thinking about Malachi, the 4th chapter. All right, on how the Lord said He was going to burn this place up. Right? It says, "But my salvation shall be forever, and my righteousness shall not be abolished." Right? Now I just want to add something real quick. Just adding on to that destruction. All right. Wisdom of Solomon. Let's pull that up real quick. And then we'll go back to the article after this. All right. Wisdom of Solomon 5:14, right? All right. Wisdom of Solomon 5:14. It says, "For the hope of the ungodly is like dust that is blown away with the wind, like a thin froth that is driven away with the storm, like as the smoke which is dispersed here and there with a tempest, and passeth away as the remembrance of a guest that tarried but a day," man. And that's how quick the Lord is going to bring an end to Babylon, man. Okay, in various parts of the earth. All right. So anyway, that's the time again that we're approaching. All right, you got signs in the heavens. All right, we're approaching the towards the unthinkable, as we were reading here, the escalation after escalation. All right, nonstop on the block, right? So let's go back to what we were reading here. All right. So reading on in this article, it says, "On Sunday night, a blood moon eclipse will be visible in both the Middle East and Ukraine. In fact, it will be clearly visible over large portions of Europe, Africa, and Asia." It says stargazers, including in Israel, will have a chance to see a blood moon on Sunday night during a total lunar eclipse visible across Asia and swaths of Europe, Australia, and Africa. When the sun, earth, and moon line up, the shadow cast by the planet. Let me read that again. It says, when the sun, earth, and moon line up, the shadow cast by the planet on its satellite makes the latter appear in eerie, deep red color that has astounded humans for millennia. People in Asia, including India and China, will be best placed to see Sunday's total eclipse, which will also be visible on the eastern edge of Africa as well as in the Western Australia, right? Real quick. All right, let's get this in Joel to add on to that. All right, the day of the Lord, right? Joel 2:30, it says, "And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke." Verse 31, "The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood." See? So these signs that the Lord has given us again, right, are major signals, all right, major signs from the Most High that we're approaching the end of this world, right? Hold on one second. I just clicked out of the tab. Let me get it back. Bear with me. I just clicked out. Let me pull it back up. Salakia. Drag that back over. All right. So again, these are the tokens, the signs. All right, major signs. Wars and rumors of wars intensify as this blood moon approaches, right? Joel 2:31, the sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord come. See? And this is why, as we're going to go through some more here, this is why I entitled this show, that the hell is almost over. Okay? The Lord is showing us that his return is near. All right? Verse 32, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance. All right. So deliverance is going to happen in Mount Zion, Jerusalem, the Israelites, man. Salvation is for Israel. Okay. As the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, have said, and in the remnant whom the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, shall call. All right. So not only is salvation for the nation of Israel, all right, but it's for the remnant. All right, the elect on this side, man, the 1/3 in whom the Lord shall call, right? This is Luke 21:9. It says, but when you shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Then he said unto them, nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. All these things that we've been seeing as of lately. Okay. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences, and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. All right. So, just again, like I said, you could make the argument to say that this is not real, or whatever the case is. But as we all know, Esau has these high level telescopes that are able to see things in the heavens, man. So apparently this is what how you say the word Amua. All right, this is what that chariot looks like. Okay, so Esau, he's terrified. You got to believe these devils are terrified, man. They understand that their end is here. There's nothing they can do, But anyway, going back, okay, just making the point that the hell is almost over. All right, let's finish. Let's read a little bit more. All right, it says So it says, where we stop at right here. It says, so when the sun and earth and moon line up, it says the shadow cast by the planet on its satellite makes the latter appear an eerie and deep red color that has astounded humans for millennia. It says people in Asia, including India, China, will be best placed to see Sunday's total eclipse, which will be visible on the eastern edge of Africa as well as Western Australia. It says, I have written much about the unprecedented series of blood moons that we have been witnessing in recent years, right? But most of the population doesn't seem to be getting the message. You see that? That's why, again, this word, these prophecies, the understanding is only for the elect. All right, those that have been made privy to see these things that we speak on. All right, through the Holy Spirit. Okay, the majority of the people can't see the things that we see. All right. It says, but most of the population still doesn't seem to be getting the message. It says we are really living at a time of wars and rumors of wars, and the fate of our society is really hanging in the balance. Man, this is heavy stuff. And now this article is, is pretty long, so I had it summarized here, and I just want to make some points before we move on. All right, but just dealing, summarizing this article up. All right, it goes into celestial and existential warnings. A blood moon lunar eclipse will be visible over large parts of Europe, Africa, and Asia, including the Middle East and Ukraine. It says the author views this as an ominous sign. It says nuclear threat. The author expresses concern that global events are pushing the world closer to nuclear war, which could result in deaths of billions of people. They call for people to demand peace from their leaders before the situation becomes uncontrollable, right? But that's the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, Yahweh Shem Yahushai is a man of war. Okay, war is part of prophecy. All right. Last part here. It talks about the Russian-Ukraine war, how that's continued to escalate. It says Prime Minister Donald Tusk, who called for the U.S. and Europe to force Russia into an immediate ceasefire. Russian President Vladimir Putin has warned that Western troops in Ukraine will be considered legitimate targets. President Donald Trump has indicated he is ready to implement a second phase of sanctions against Russia. Right, and they said that the body count or casualties from this Ukraine war here, I believe it's like over 1 million now. All right. Last part here says Israel and Hamas war. The Israel Defense Forces, IDF, have taken control of 40% of Gaza City and are preparing to seize the entire area. The IDF has leveled high-rise towers in Gaza City, and President Donald Trump has issued a, quote, last warning to Hamas to accept his terms for a deal. Iranian forces are on high alert, believing a conflict with Israel is highly likely. All right. So the least of the flock shall draw them out. All right. So there's going to be another attack. So anyway, the point of all of this, again, is the escalation leading into the, as we read, the unthinkable. Right. So these are all, again, it's a wrap. Right. Let's get this too. All right. Showing you how close we are. All right. So it says Trump to call on Americans to pray for one nation. To pray for nation as 250th birthday approaches. All right. So we're approaching the 250th year of America. All right. One nation under God. President Trump will call for America to be rededicated to one nation under God. Check that out.
As we prepare to celebrate 2.5 centuries of freedom, I'm inviting America's great religious communities to pray for our nation and for our people. From the beginning, this has always been a country sustained and strengthened by prayer. So important. If we bring religion back stronger, you're going to see everything get better and better and better. You're going to see it get better and better. So as we chart our course toward the next 250 years, let us rededicate ourselves to one nation under God. Right?
What a joke, right? Hey, Jeremiah 51, no healing of Babylon. Okay. Let me get this too. All right. Oh, yeah, that's a good precept, brother. Real quick. This is the end has come, 2nd Ezra 6:20. And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. All right. The Lord is showing us these tokens, these signs as we see this world begin to vanish away. Right. So as you heard Trump, all right, that he wants to rededicate America under one nation under God. All right. Now, as I brought this out plenty of times, the point I'm enforcing is like to show y'all how close we are. All right. They're talking about celebrating, the pray for America's, as America's 250th birthday approaches, right? But going back to this article here, it says the average empire survives for 250 years. Is America at death's door? Hey, this shit is close. Okay? They say that they're telling you that no empire, no society, survives past that 250 years. So let's see. Hey, let's see what's going to happen. And a lot of things are in store, man. Very crucial and exciting times. All right, let's go back. Man, them tokens are heavy. Right? Let's get this real quick. And this is, like I said, this is a quick lesson. All right, but just wanted to put that out there. All right, is there anything you want to take from this article here? It says, let me just get to the point. Yeah, President Donald Trump will announce the launch of America Prays at the Museum of the Bible in Washington, D.C. Today, while trying the faith-driven initiative to the nation's 250th birthday, the inspiring program calls on Americans to dedicate time every week to pray for the country, right? And to underscore faith as central to the nation's founding and future. All right. Hey, pray not for the wicked, right? You know, President Trump has revived one of America's most prominent and powerful founding principles. We are one nation under God, right? White House spokesman Taylor Rogers told Fox News Digital, as we approach the 250th anniversary of the greatest country in the world, President Trump invites Americans to pray for our nation and for our people. America is stronger with power of prayer, man. Again, what a joke, right? Where's that scripture at? Let me get that real quick. Just thinking about that. Was that Psalm? It's Psalm 50. Yep. Psalms 50 and 16, it says, but unto the wicked, Yahweh Shemel Shai saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, right? So you Edomites, okay, you so-called, Christian Americans, right? You American Edomites, you ain't got nothing to do with the Bible. You have nothing to do with the scriptures, all right? There ain't no praying for this place, okay? It says, verse 17, seeing thou hatest instruction, seeing thou hatest instruction and casting my words behind thee, right? Because the wicked have nothing to do with the Lord, man. Talking about a God-fearing nation, man. All the principles of Babylon America are behind Satan, man. Okay, this society is completely anti-Messiah. America has nothing to do with the scriptures, man. Okay, so all this place is doing is just bringing fire upon itself, man. Okay, there's another one I was thinking about. We said Isaiah, straight to the point. Was Isaiah 48? Yeah, Isaiah 48 and 22. There is no peace, save the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shah, unto the wicked, man. So ain't no prayer for Babylon. There ain't no peace coming to this place. All right. There is no peace, save the Lord, unto the wicked. All right. This place is due for wrath. All right. As we just read. Okay, is America at death's door? All right. It's about to be a done deal, man. All right. And I want to get into this real quick and we'll wrap this up. All right, because everything about Babylon is done. Okay, this came out today as well. This is from Yahoo Finance. The cost of achieving your American dream is on the rise. All right, so now it went from the American dream costing $4 million. Now it's at $5 million.
This is $600,000. Well, the American dream in 2025 cost a whopping $5 million. This is $600,000 more than it did last year. It's according to an Investopedia study that estimates the lifetime cost of 8 major life categories commonly associated with achieving the American dream. This includes retirement, home ownership, and healthcare, among other categories. Joining me now, I got Caleb Silver, editor-in-chief at Investopedia. Caleb, always great to see you. So the American dream is going to cost $5 million. Let's start there. How do we define the American dream? Walk us through it. Walk us through the criteria.
Yeah, great question. And everybody's dream actually has a different price tag. Yours is different than mine. But we looked at what people want, the wants, not the needs. And we actually surveyed our readers and beyond to find out what are the essentials for you that would make you consider yourself financially stable, that you finally made enough to be able to make those types of decisions. And you mentioned a lot of them. We were talking about retirement, healthcare, owning a home, potentially having 2 kids, sending them to college, having a new car every 10 years, having a pet. Pets get very expensive, my friend, marrying somebody off. So looking at an annual vacation, all these things priced in today's dollars, these things add up to about $5 million plus. The thing is, as you know, if you make the median income throughout your whole working life, 25 to 65, you get to around $2.3, $2.4 million, depending. There's that gap there. Again, everybody's price tag is different, but these are the things that most people associate with, if I've done the work, if I worked hard, if I've saved, this is what I should be able to have. Again, the wants, not the needs.
Pets are expensive, by the way.
Absolutely.
I mean, my vet took a few teeth out of my dog. I didn't know she had teeth. Thousands, Caleb. $5 million. How does that compare versus last year? It went up 600,000.
Yeah, but we also added a little bit more around healthcare, because we took healthcare at a base level in our initial surveys the last couple of years. But we know that people, by asking them through the survey, are thinking about premium healthcare in case something happened beyond the very basic. So that's very important to American families, and they said as much, and that is about $414,000 over a lifetime. Again, these are lifetime costs, adult lifetime costs. And you look at retirement, 1.6 million. That would give you around $67,000 to $68,000 a year for 20 years after the retirement age of 65. Again, for some people, not nearly enough. For some people, too much. But it all depends on what it costs to be the you that you want to be. And that's how we boiled this down.
The $5 million, how does that compare to sort of the lifetime earnings of most Americans?
Yeah, it's about 2 to 3 million higher than most people are going to earn, which is why we need to invest. How do you fill the gap? You fill the gap through investing, through saving, through owning assets. And if you're not investing or you don't have asset ownership, it's very hard to cross that threshold into the feeling wealthy, that sense of I can make decisions based on what I need to do for what's best for my family without worrying too much about money.
Yeah, so in the lack of better word, all right, it's over. Who has money to fucking invest and save? Okay, the American dream went from 4 million to $5 million. It's over, man. All right, you still have hope and trust in this place? You're a damn fool. All right, the American dream is just that, a damn dream. Right? This is it, man. That's why I said again. Can't you see it? Right? Hey, the hell is almost over. This shit is done. All right. Sirach or Ecclesiastes chapter 34 in verse 1, it says, the hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false, and dreams lift up fools, man. And you people are fools that continue to trust in this fucking place, man. To think that you're gonna make it, man. That you're gonna be living on top in Babylon. Babylon is falling, man. The economy is done. All right. Society is going cashless. They're pushing the chip. Okay. People are in despair. People are struggling, man. Okay. It's a wrap. Hyperinflation. All right. The cost of living is a done deal. All right. It's time to detach and get your mind out of this place. Verse 2, whoso regardeth dreams is like him that catcheth it at a shadow and followeth after the wind. Right. It's all in vain. The vision of dreams is the resemblance of one thing to another, even as the likeness of a face to a face. Of an unclean thing, what can be cleansed? And from what thing which is false, what truth can come? Right? See, and people are seeing that everything about Babylon is a fucking joke. It's all lies, man. Okay, the American dream, the land of the free. All right, you go to college and you get this this degree, all right? You fucking, all of this damn debt, from tuition and all of that. All right, people that graduated college, got all these high-paying degrees, and got nothing to show for it, man. Especially now, So people are realizing that everything about this place is a fucking rap, man. Okay, Micah 2:10. This land is not our rest. Okay, so it's over. What else can we say, man? All right, the hell is almost over. Right, so that's it, man. Hey, short and sweet, straight to the point, man. Just wanted to put that out there, man. All right, hey, it's amazing times right now. Shit is going down. Hey, so continue to be occupied in prophecy. Shalom.